well. Play together every single day up against the two Team USA rookies in Fedor Gorst and Shane Wolford. So can Team USA claw back a point on this opening day of the Mosconi Cup? Let's find out with Carl Boys and Michael McMullen.
Thanks, Hannah. Just over 2 months ago in Rome, Europe led USA 4-0 after the opening session of Golf's Ryder Cup, one of Spain's World Cup winning pair of last year. They come up with the goods in the last match of the night. It's going to be the same story here in Pools equivalent tournament. And you got to say, Carl, looking at this, the situation the Americans are in and how desperately they need this point, this is a really, really big test for Shane Wolford, given that this is his first ever night of Mosconi Cup action.
Yes, it's a huge task ahead. But if they can take something, maybe the two rookies for USA, maybe the only point winners come the end of play. Certainly can't lose it on day one, but you can make it a big task. So as you said, Michael, massive point for USA.
And if they can win it, let's not forget, last year Europe were 3-1 down after the opening day. Came back to win it relatively comfortably, really, when you consider that they were trying to turn around that deficit. So okay, it's Europe's night now, whatever happens, but the way we're reflecting on this as we all come away from Alexandra Palace tonight will be totally shaped, really, by what happens. To go into day two still looking for your first point, that would be so tough on Jeremy Jones and his team. They have a chance here to put a bit of hope in their hearts.
Extension. Yeah, extension, please.
Yeah, we just got a glimpse of Shane Wolford's dab there with the USA hat on.
Situation, playing your first ever Mosconi Cup doubles match, and your team really need to win it. The last thing you need,
you got 20 seconds.
Your partner to put you in this position.
Good hit. Well, he's left this red 3 ball into the side.
Opportunity they've passed up there. Chance was there to come out of the blocks quickly, get the first rack on the board. They've been entirely their own undoing there. So these two great pals, they spend so much time together at tournaments and back home in Spain, but this is one of those rare weeks where Francisco Sanchez Ruiz may have to compete just a bit for David Alcaide's attention, because Alcaide's wife is here with them and their 8-year-old daughter, Daniela.
¿Te gusta ahí donde está? Ahí vale. Quita ahí.
Such an obvious pairing on Sanchez Ruiz's Mosconi Cup debut last year, to put him playing with David Alcaide. They played together twice, won a match, lost another one.
Didn't go in the heart of the pocket.
En el sitio, Fran.
still a routine 8 and an even more straightforward 9 to follow. The Americans really messed up a chance there to stamp their mark on this one. Europe have pounced to the full, they lead 1-0. And just to go back to the previous match, Joshua Filler beating Skylar Woodward 5-0. That's the first singles whitewash we've seen in the Mosconi Cup for 3 years. It was in the Reclaim at the Rico, the COVID Mosconi back in 2020. It last happened. It was Joshua Filler who did it then, and it was against Skylar Woodward. So it's happened again here. Wasn't a great deal Woodward could have done about that, but certainly the Americans had an opportunity there to impact on proceedings. That's now 7 racks in a row for the Europeans across 3 matches. Skylar Woodward and Tyler Steyer coming out trying to offer some encouragement. Body language at least looks a bit better. Van Bonen and Steyer, when they were playing the only other doubles match tonight for the US, from right at the start they looked under so much pressure, very little communication between them. It's a bit brighter from the point of view of Gorst and Wolford. Well, that rack is one they'll want to forget. All smiles, though, for the Spanish pair. And Francisco Sanchez Ruiz will look to build on that positive start.
Thank you, it's the second rack. Team Europe to break, leading by 1 break to nil.
Well, this is a shot Ruiz made his own. This is the new break shot. What helped this man get to world #1, and that is why one ball disappears again. Very consistent at doing that.
I remember when he had that brilliant start to 2023, picking up where he had left off at the end of 22, winning the World Championship in Kielce in February, and then a few weeks later the Premier League. At times, just thought consistency of breaking racks was about as good as it was possible to get. Let's hear what they're saying.
Well, what did they say, Michael?
I was hoping you could tell me.
I think they just said, pot the 2, get me nice on the red 3.
Sound advice.
Llegan allí, Fran. Aquí, ¿no? Tómate la extensión, 20 segundos, Fran.
I think he's okay. Just got to miss the purple 5, 2 rails, possibly hit the 3rd
que no quiero
rail.
apretarla porque te voy a dejar muy recto, ¿sabes? No te preocupes. Prefiero dejarte aquí, David, sin apretarla mucho, pues si aquí te dejo... Vale, si el caso es libre a eso.
All sounds very energetic, doesn't it?
Pasa en los dos lados.
Energetic language, Carl. There's a whole world going on outside Blackpool. David Alcaide has been playing in Mosconi Cup pool for such a long time, made his debut all the way back in 2006.
Oh, con confianza, ¿eh? Ahí, ¿no? Déjame la recta, David.
Spain's first ever Mosconi player. Until last year, he was the only one, but he didn't play again for 11 years. And after that, he had to wait another 4 years, but this is his 3rd time in a row on the team.
Even that shot, the pink 4 went in the middle of the pocket. Cue ball was perfection. And this is just what confidence breeds. It's the same team as last year. They went over to Las Vegas and won the cup on USA soil.
¿Te gusta directa o directa, no? Creo que es aquí. Venga, va, con confianza, ¿eh?
So far here on day 1, everything has just gone Europe's way.
The old adage in football, don't change a winning team. I don't think it quite applies when you have a team event in an individual sport, but really, okay, you saw 3 of them qualify automatically. Somebody else was going to have to come along and give a very good reason to change that team, and nobody was ultimately able to do it. Alcaide actually shares the record for the most Mosconi Cups played in for either team without ever being on the losing side. You know who he shares that record with?
Con confianza, que abre, arriba, dale arriba,
I need a little bit of time, Michael. You always give me a little bit of time.
This is embarrassing, Carl. You're the answer. We'll come back to that in a moment. Because here and now, the onslaught continues. The US unable to get the chance even to come up with an answer there. A fine rack for the Spanish pair. They coasted through it. They lead 2-0. Ralph Eckert is having the time of his life. His first night ever as a Mosconi Cup captain. It's going like a dream. And now he gets to talk to Ashley.
It really is going like a dream. Ralph, congratulations. Your first year in charge of Team Europe. And the first night, it couldn't have gone much better at the moment.
Yes, I mean, that's all you can ask for, right? I'm even surprised a little bit, even though I have full trust in everybody on the court.
I mean, you're sat here on the sofa, you've got the best view in the house, you're enjoying a green tea. Does it get much better than this?
No, it can't.
Who's impressed you from your team?
It was Joshua, because he's one of the guys who really enjoys the pressure, at least, right? So, and enjoying the pressure is the key for the win.
He definitely thrives on a bit of pressure, does Joshua. Now, has Team USA surprised you tonight? Were you expecting a bit more from them?
Well, they surprised me with, I can remember at least 3 nice Christmas gifts so far. And yeah, we are happy to take them.
Well, I'll leave you to it. Enjoy the rest of your tea.
Thank you, thank you.
I don't think I've ever seen a Mosconi Cup captain looking so chilled out. Sitting back, enjoying his coffee, and the players are doing the business for him. Shane Wolford did have a breaking rack in the opening team match earlier tonight, and it looked as though he might run out until that miss on the 7. Here he is breaking again. He's got to deliver something good, because this is turning into a night which could deliver no return whatsoever for the Americans. 3-0 down in the contest. Already trailing 2-0 in this match.
Yeah, it was also quite interesting when Ralph Eckert was speaking. You just got a glimpse of Shane Van Bonen, didn't you? Just sat there, did not look happy.
It's been a miserable night for him. He would have seen this as a big opportunity, and of course America can still win this, but he knows he's as much a reason as anyone in terms of why the night has gone this way for them.
This is not easy for Gorst. It's long, he's got a slightly cue down.
And in the circumstances, he was under a lot of pressure. But finally, a bit of fortune for them there, flicking the 8 in. There's a chance here, at least at the 2, but it's a tough one for Wolford.
Take your time, man. You have 28 seconds.
Especially because he's also going to be jacked up over the red 3.
You can take extension if you want, and that's right.
Just something about this type of shot where everyone always misses these now and again.
You have to say well done there, given the circumstances. Nicely on the 3 and acknowledged with the tap on the table from Gorst. Unusual to be playing your first ever Mosconi Cup doubles and you're actually older than your partner. Wolford is 24, Gorst a year younger.
Does he have an angle on this pink 4?
Not a lot of it, that's for sure.
Even if you leave me here, even if you don't leave me straight, that's fine. Whatever you feel coming. 20 seconds.
Second player from Virginia to play in the Mosconi after Brandon Schuff, who made his only appearance here in London 11 years ago.
Tell you what, Michael, I thought Wolford potted some good balls in the team point.
Extension if you need it.
Yeah. We still have extension?
Yeah, no question.
I'll leave
Another
it
one
here.
there.
Yeah.
The one he ended up missing in the team match was more straightforward than some of the ones he'd been successful with.
This has got to travel. This is way short of pace. 2 feet short of pace.
Once again, Shane Wolford on his opening night in the Mosconi Cup. It's been put to the test.
All right, the green man's gone out.
Extension, please.
Previous shot, Gorst potted the ball a little bit thick, didn't go in clean. That changed the angle of the cue ball, the path it should have took. This is very thin.
Oh, he's delivered again. But another test. This time has to be faced by Gorst. This is to end Europe's run of 8 racks in a row. It's early in this doubles match, but that feels massive, doesn't it? The USA really had to take that rack once the opportunity came. They had a couple of tests to pass along the way, but job done now. Shane Wolford is so pleased. The USA are off the mark. Europe lead though, it's 2-1.
If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone.
We've got a boxing double-header coming up for you on Sky Sports this weekend. First up in the early hours of Sunday morning, WBO featherweight king Roberto Ramirez defends his crown against the unbeaten Rafael Espinoza. We are live from Florida from 1 a.m. Then just hours later, the newly crowned WBO cruiserweight champion Chris Billam-Smith is back in Bournemouth as he makes his first defence against the very experienced Mateusz Masnak. Coverage from that gets underway at 6 p.m. Both of those are on Sky Sports Arena. But for the moment, let's turn our attention very much back to the final match of the opening day of this Mosconi Cup. Michael Mullen, back to you.
Cheers, Hannah. And the American team, the ones very much on the ropes here. But an important punch has been landed there by Gorst and Wolford. Now goes back to David Alcaide to try to restore Europe's 2-rack advantage. This is his first break-off shot in this year's Mosconi Cup.
And it's not a bad one for his first. Just look at the split here.
La quieres recta con la banda mejor, ¿no?
Claro, con la banda mejor, porque aquí llego muy justo, ¿sabes? Me apoyo en banda y te la dejo más cerca.
They're having a chat about the obstacles they might overcome in trying to turn this into a break and run, but there don't seem to be many of them. David Alcaide, like his
Sí, mira, en la diagonal del agujero al...
big matchroom individual event this year.
Ahí nunca me vas a tapar.
His career had slipped away a bit, particularly in individual tournaments over a period of about a year or so, and then he won a small tournament in Scotland over the summer, and that set him up nicely to go to Germany and win the European Open, and shown more good form since then. He was in the final of the International Open just a few weeks ago, beaten by Lucius Yant. Very much getting his career back on track. And Sanchez Ruiz, well, he's had no need to, has he? After the wonderful run he's had over the last 18 months or so. Hasn't quite continued the run he had from mid-22 into early 23, but still the world's #1 player. That's Daniela, 8 years of age. What an adventure she's having with both her parents here, watching Daddy play in the Mosconi Cup.
Fran. Se me ha dejado recto, tengo que venir.
I don't know if she's watched many Mosconis in the past, but if she hasn't, she might be thinking this is all so easy. After making it look that way at the moment.
Con calidad ahí la saca. Dale con calidad, ahí.
Yeah, as you can tell, these two like to talk a lot in between shots. That's just the style that these two play.
Ya, pero es que se te va a quedar muy abierta, ¿eh?
No te preocupes.
We saw a lot of balls missed and mistakes made early on tonight, but we saw Fuller's performance rather. But you look at this now, and really apart from that positional error that Gorst made early on, it's been very high quality in this.
Yeah, it's just simply momentum, isn't it? It's confidence. The fact that when Team Europe have been going out after the team point and the doubles win.
Si no, David, no te compliques, ¿eh? Deja el 8 ahí. No te juegues. No te compliques, David, ¿eh?
They've been going out there
15 segundos.
knowing that things have been going their way. Tough shot coming up here on the 8. But he's overdone it. A small window here for USA.
Daniela's just realised it isn't as easy as she thought. Well, to describe this as the sort of opportunity the Americans can't afford to pass up would be a massive understatement. So they're battling here. Put in a very good rack themselves in rack 3. let back in here. The bottom line is that from 2-0 down, the Americans have got back already to level terms in this one. Jeremy Jones looks tense. He's desperate for his team to get this point on the board. Those Spanish smiles have faded just a touch after the events of that fourth rack. As we've been saying, as you'll be well aware throughout the year, this is the 30th Mosconi Cup. In all the previous stagings, there have only ever been 3 instances of a team finishing the opening night without a point on the board. The last of those was 10 years ago, and there were 5 matches on the opening night, and Europe won them all. No team has ever recovered from a pointless opening night to win the Mosconi Cup. Wonderful atmosphere here tonight, great turnout for the opening night, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. Virtually no tickets to be had over the last couple of nights. At the very least, we want to see it being close going into Saturday, and there's still the way the last day started, it looked as though we could be heading for one of the great dramatic Mosconi Cup nights, but then it all fizzled out a bit with Europe just pulling away. So Jeremy Jones made it 3 Mosconi Cups as captain, 3 defeats.
Thank you, Reg 5.
So deflated if he comes away as the losing captain yet again. We're a long way from that. And there's 2 boys out there at the moment who are doing their best to give the Americans a foothold in this Mosconi. Gorst to break, 2-2.
Yeah, we all thought it was going to be a dry break for a moment, but the 2 ball, I believe it was, got kicked in.
Even if you're on this side, it's fine. You don't like it. You have 60 seconds, so don't rush.
Just the slightest of flicks it got off the 5, wasn't it? And that was enough. Couldn't afford to pass up that chance. And look where the ones finished, Carl.
Yeah, there was distance. Here's another look. Yeah, a lot of movement there with the hand on the rail.
I know what you're saying about there being distance, but they're the sort of shots the Americans need to start making to change the momentum here.
Yeah, 100% agree, Michael. Especially when you look at what happened in the last rack with Europe missing the 8 ball. A little straight on the 3. Both players have had a look at the combo, the pink 4 onto the 9. As long as you hit the lowest ball, if another ball goes in, you stay at the table. If the 9 goes in, it's a early rack lead as we see the European camp looking very happy indeed, and why wouldn't they be?
That's their approach generally, isn't it? You know, you see them in the days leading up to it. That's the way they are, and the Americans are a bit more serious, a bit more regimented, and I'm not saying that's wrong. It's not working for them at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's just because Europe just know they've got 5 strong players in their team. They always feel like, you know, if you look at this year again, we've got Wolford, never played, Gorst, never played for USA, never played in front of this crowd.
Yeah, his only appearance was 2020, and it was the COVID Mosconi behind closed doors. So yeah, it's all new to him as well in that sense.
Alcaide may be playing the carom to pop the 9 ball. Could also play safe. He's chased it. The
the chase was in vain. Now, what have the Americans been left with?
You want it?
Extension.
Extension, please. Ta-ta.
Not much communication there, Carl.
Playing off the left edge. That's okay. We may see the jump cue come. 2 rail kick is on, but hard to see how the balls go safe. That's what Ruiz is faced with. And I believe he's got the short stick. Not easy to control the cue ball if he pots the 4. Now, where's it going to end up? Looks like it's going to kiss the 4. Well, Wolford is left-handed. That is a bonus.
We got 23 seconds, so.
Just a soft.
No extension. Don't have extension.
Playing the bank
you play the cue ball. We got 14 seconds, so.
A horrendous idea. Fedor wants the hook behind the purple 5, though. He's made a mess of this. Or did he play the bank? Maybe he played the bank. Maybe a two-way bank using the 6 ball as well. Alcaide's turn to play the jump shot. Got to get this cue ball airborne quick because it's quite close to the green 6.
Top made, but always going to be so hard for position to be attained. And in the end, the moment where they might have feared the cue ball getting hooked behind the 8. That hasn't happened, but see what they make of it. Anyone watching in Spain or South America is getting a great insight.
Yeah, the previous jump shot from David was all about staying at the table. He knew he couldn't get on the purple 5.
20 seconds.
Starting to feel like a very big rack the way it's unfolded. It's been different to what we've seen for most of this match, very high quality. It's a bit more drawn out, and I don't know if the Americans not won any matches tonight. They've rarely been in front. There was one rack during the team match where they went in front. They led 2-1, but that's the only time they've even been ahead in any match tonight.
Vale. Buen tiro, David.
Yeah, good containing safety there. Keeping the heat on the rookie. The only rookie, really, in Mosconi Cup teams this year.
Yeah, Shane Wolford, the first American to play in the Mosconi Cup without ever having previously featured since Chris Robinson, as he was then, 3 years ago.
Shot.
Fantastic shot there from the lefty. It feels like a hill rack, this.
O meterle un taponazo. No sé.
El retruque. Y si se quedan el 5 ahí,
finding
se
their
lo
voice both on and off the table right now. Definitely feels like a lot more Americans have made the journey than when we were last here at Alexandra Palace 2 years ago. Certainly made an effort for the occasion now that they're here.
15.
Took the bank on.
Sorry, Steve.
¿Te gusta atrás del 9?
No tengo otra.
Es lo único que tiene, no tiene... O sea, ese es el tiro, ¿eh? Ahí céntrate en la blanca, David, ¿vale? No te muevas, que es 15 segundos, ¿eh? Vamos.
Such a great Mosconi Cup record, David Alcaide. Doubles, 7 wins, only 4 defeats. He's even better in singles, 5 wins from 6.
Very difficult for the players to lay the hook just where the balls are situated.
On the right side, like hit the right side of the 5.
Tension mounting with every stroke that goes by. Well over 4 minutes now since the ball's been potted.
15 seconds. Or you can just play soft and play the 5.
It'll be the longest of the night by some distance.
10 seconds, you got it.
Another great shot from the rookie.
Alcaide al 9. Alcaide al 9.
Struggled tonight, but you do have to say a lot of rolls and running have gone the way of the Europeans, and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz acknowledging that was the case there.
Yeah, I think that's just a case of when you make these big errors, you know, the need to win points, you always feel like everything is against you.
All right, you're good, you're good. No problem. Jack him up.
So at the moment, the purple 5 is not playing ball, is it? Everything's landing all quick.
La blanca intentó meter aquí detrás. Exacto.
Cuidado que la 5 que patina, David.
Ya, tío.
¿Eh?
Pero tengo que jugarla.
Si la quieres centrar la 5 allí, que la 5 central que se quede allí. Venga, vamos. 10 segundos, David. Bueno, David, buen tour.
Like serving and play one real quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
I've just noticed, sat behind Team Europe players, there's actually a cuddly toy of a snake, Michael, and that's because Jason Shaw has been calling Fedor a snake since he made the switch. I've only just noticed that.
Cue ball.
Good. Well, it was that tiger that you brought back in 2020. Now we've got a snake.
Tira la 4 entre el boquete y el 7, esa banda corta, y la blanca la pone allí pegada en banda si quieres.
Aquí, ¿no?
Claro. No entra por ahí, ¿no?
I think Jason likes to throw that term around. I seem to remember him saying it about Shane Van Boning in that 2020 staging, actually. All part of the build-up.
Eso es, Fran.
didn't play the pot, played the safe behind the 9.
Okay. They get tough.
It's just amazing how many times we're seeing the object ball running around the table that very little control over it.
5 balls frozen to the ring.
And still it's not yielding any opportunities, and that's why we've now been on this ball for over 8 minutes.
No, puedo tirar 3 bandas.
Well, they'll be taking this ball on, convinced.
Vale. Venga, vale, tírala, que se las tira muy bien.
If you don't fancy it, he doesn't have to take it on, but I think he's swinging the 5-ball round, trying to get it off. 1, 2, 3, 4 rails back onto the bottom. Could have attacked that ball.
You want a slow leg and play the 5-ball on the long rail.
Not the first time we've seen David Alcaide involved in an epic Mosconi Cup rack here at Alexandra Palace. I think it was 18 minutes in the end, that rack that he played against Jeremy Jones 2 years ago. Such a crucial point that for Europe, on the way to what was then their 2nd win in a row.
Good, that's good.
You could hear Fedor say, that's good, that's good, but could be in a bit of bother here after this one.
Diez segundos.
Well, not bother, it's the opposite.
Yeah, he'd like to take that one again. Complete miss hit there. Didn't get a good 5-ball, got a terrible cue ball. Gorst with a long pot on the 5.
And now the purple 5 is running free again. This time it yields a European chance. Again, Carl, that was one of those moments that you felt the Americans had to deliver if they're going to turn around the momentum, the energy of this opening night.
Just the sheer distance that he's missed it by. That's what's worrying. It's understandable if you just catch the jaw and it rattles, but when you're not even catching the pocket, I mean, look at this. Just look at this.
The Europeans had some running again there.
On rail. Hard, you gotta hit it with speed so it goes there. You miss it. You got 22 seconds, so plenty of time.
It is a favourable roll because Alcaide missed it by a mile as well, but I always feel like if you get the first chance in the rack and you miss a pot, anything goes.
Cue ball, good cue ball, Shane.
Good fortune that the cue ball stayed on the table at all there. What an eventful rack this has been.
Tiro pase bola.
No. Como meterla al medio, la zona del lisa para allá y la blanca intenta ponerla detrás del 6 y la 5 la pone allí donde está el 9. ¿No te gusta eso o qué?
No me gusta mucho, ¿eh?
Tira algo tuya, Fran. Tira el tiro, tío.
Ralph Eckert still looking as relaxed as he's been all night, even amid the tension of this one. Remember, this is only rack 5. This is only the midway point in this match, but it feels so much more significant than that. Chris Melling, you might see in the front row there, a former Mosconi Cup MVP himself.
Got to watch the 8-ball here.
Good shot.
Great shot there. Great kick and stick. Had to swerve the cue ball. Tap of the table from Ruiz.
We've been on this 5-ball for about as long as it took Joshua Filler to win his match earlier this evening. Seems the worse the American situation gets for Jeremy this evening, the more relaxed he's looking. Maybe he's trying to channel some positive energy into his team, because the body language earlier, particularly when Van Bonen and Steyer were out there, it's not the sort of thing that was going to spread good feelings through the American ranks.
Another great kick shot. What a shot he's played there, Alcaide.
Many times at this level that you see
5 into the rail, into the 9, like play
on the same
draw.
ball for 13 minutes,
here.
But that's what we've got to now.
Try to hit it like that in the face, like here.
Yeah, I know, but then okay, yeah.
I mean, if you make the 7, you can't even make the 7 for me. 10 seconds.
Well, it doesn't help when players are missing opportunities at the pot, but what it has done is it's made rack 5 very exciting. Played the 7.
That worked a little too good.
But it's still the 5-ball that doesn't want to play ball. Fedor's got a thin cut.
Plenty of time.
Succumbs, and the cue ball decides to go off into another pocket, and it could be a rather anticlimactic finish to what's been one of the most memorable racks we've seen in recent Mosconi Cup history. Boy, does Fedor Gorst look deflated. There was a wry smile at first, and then came the realization of what that meant. And so, still, the Americans have not been ahead in any match since they briefly led at 2-1 in the team contest. So they led 2-0, they got pegged back to level terms, but the Europeans are in front again here at 3-2. They're 2 racks away from completing an opening night clean sweep.
I can go through the gap.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought, okay, I know the ball is here, you know, can't make, and also can't make 9.
You've got to put it yet and leave the cue ball there. I thought, if you're not just rolling to the floor here, it's not like get right behind them, like, you know. Just
Not sure how much of that we've been hearing. When you see all this and you see the guys enjoying all this and having their conversations, Carl, do you miss being part of that Mosconi team environment?
Yeah, 100%. It's what I miss most. You know, obviously, I decided to stop playing before Matchroom come in and made all these new tournaments that the World Nineball Tour see. Maybe we've lost a piece of chalk here.
Sort of thing you might see down your local pool hall. You don't expect it in the most high-profile event in the game. Anyway, I'm sure there's some replacement chalk somewhere. And of course, now that they've gone back in front in this, the Europeans have the break in the next rack, so they have a chance to really build on the advantage they've re-established.
What an unfortunate mount that was, off the fucking foot, around.
So if Europe go on and win this and it's 4-0, I know you're coming at it from a European point of view, Carl, but what can Jeremy say to his team overnight?
2 minutes, so can I get another
Well, it's just a tough one, isn't it? It's been such a tough day at the office, but just going to try and win this point. If they can win this point, 3-1. New team sheet tomorrow.
What's that about? Oh, okay. All right.
10 years, as I've said, since the last time there was an opening night clean sweep. Europe leading 5-0. They actually ended up winning that year without having even to go to the last day. But even if it does go 4-0, we're still a long way from that yet. Sometimes in these contests, teams come out maybe with an attitude of, well, it's got to change something here, and it frees them up a little bit. But as you say, still a chance for the Americans to avert that. Jeremy Jones there, the American captain, joined by Shane Van Boning.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Ralph Eckert just sitting happily on his own, watching his players make him a very happy man.
Thank you, track 6. Team Europe to break, leading by 3 races to 2.
FSR breaking, Europe looking for this rack to get to the hill.
Shot on the blue 2. The Ruiz break pays off again. Pockets the one in the side. Open table.
Sin separarla de banda, Fran, apenas, ¿eh? Así me puedo ir a acercar.
Flojita, ¿eh?
Claro. Con confianza, sin moverte.
Vamos, campeón. Me da bien cerquita ahí.
David Alcaide's been playing Mosconi Cup pool for so long. He's the only player on either team who's got experience of playing Mosconi Cup triples. Obviously one step up from doubles. 3 from each team going head-to-head, but they used to have that, and he played in it. Played a couple of those matches, in fact, in his first appearance back in 06. The tied Mosconi, which we can't have now. They changed the format after that.
No, aquí no me gusta, eh.
Just left Frank a little bit
aquí, eh.
Vale, vale.
more to do than he would have liked. The 4 ball was over the pocket. He should have got him a lot better position than this.
Extension.
The extension, please.
Moverte, Fran, para adentro, con confianza.
Jean-Charles Fedor is always having such a great time here, and boy did he turn in a performance to remember in his singles earlier.
Ruiz has not long since signed a new Q deal, and I was watching closely this week because I thought certain shots might affect them under this type of pressure, but he's delivered there.
Fran, por allí, ¿no? Vale, vale.
How often you see this, isn't it? Whether it's a frame of snooker or a rack of pool, whatever it is in Q Sports, when you see an absolute epic, hard-fought battle, it's funny how often it's then followed by a clean kill next time up, and that looks like it's going to be the case here. Just like FSR's other breaking rack in this match, the European pair, the Spanish pair, are going to run out from it. Just one more to complete this opening night clean sweep.
1994 is correct. 2 of those questions. You only need 1 more to get the point on the board. Who is the world Nineball Tour number 1? The world number 1 right now on the Nineball Tour. He's some Spaniard, FSR or something. That is correct. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz is number 1. That's 3 correct answers. And that's a point on the board for Team USA. You want all 5? Right, we'll give it all 5. If you're going to be like that, if you get one of these questions wrong, then you ain't getting a point. Alright, okay, here we go. Where was the last Mosconi Cup held? Las Vegas, Nevada. That's correct. This is the last question. If you don't get this right, no point. Alright, here we go. Last year's Mosconi Cup MVP, who was it?
If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone.
History made here in Malta, and for the first time, Europe defend the Mosconi Cup.
And there it goes.
And the USA waited 3 long years to win the Mosconi Cup back.
Yeah, great memories there. Mika Immonen had so many wonderful moments in his career. That was up there with the best of them.
Thank you,
Shane Van Boening reclaiming it. One of the few times he's been on a winning team. It's not been a good night for him. The other Shane now has got to make this the start of a big finish to this one for the Americans. Need to win all 3 racks.
Well, part 1 passed, broke, got a shot on the lowest ball. They stay at the table.
The Americans were 2-0 down in this contest. They battled well to turn it round, got back to 2-all. Long rack. It was all that time on the 5. They eventually potted it, but scratched at the same time. And having lost that one, they've lost the next one. And after all that, they find themselves 2 behind again. And this time, their opponents now on the hill.
You can just stop if you want. Huh? You want to draw it back? Okay.
Got to be careful here. Fedor said you can just stop the ball there. That means he's straight. Wolford wants to draw this back. This makes this shot missable.
Shot.
Great shot.
It's not gone all his way tonight by any means, but I don't think there's been any great sign that Shane Wolford is struggling to adjust to the Mosconi environment. He looks pretty comfortable with it all. Even if they do win this rack, they'll be at least momentarily powerless, because of course the Europeans will have the break in the next rack, but doing all they can here at the moment. Such a productive year for Fedor Gorst. Looked like he was going to become US Open champion, but then Ko Ping Chung turned it round in that final in Atlantic City.
Straight draw. Straight draw. You're going to stay here. Fine.
Okay, so exactly what they were looking for. overall, you have to say, genuinely played pretty well in this match. And it's a match, as the 9 wriggles in, that they still just about have a chance to win. Europe, though, will break in a moment on the hill in the person of David Alcaide. Well, credit to these American fans, by the way, because they've seen this night go against their team in so many ways, but they've not lost heart at any stage and continued to provide support. They will take the roof off this place if the Americans can finish the night on a winning note and get a little bit of momentum to build on. There you can see that 9 was not smooth. It was a rueful look from Fedor Gorst, and the smile from Shane Wolford added to the sense that they knew that one had done its best to stay on the table. The Spanish pair knew it too. Anyway, what it all adds up to is the Americans continuing to battle here, but now they need a bit of assistance in the form of a bit of good fortune or a mistake by the Europeans. Ralph Eckert, well, he's going to be such a happy man tonight, whatever happens. He described himself at the press conference yesterday as the best paid ball racker in the business. But of course, there's a lot more to the role than that. And since he was named back in August, he's been coming to all the big tournaments, talking to the players, getting to know them better, getting their views. Jeremy Jones, of course, didn't need to go through that process. He's so well known and so well respected by all the players, not just the Americans. But it's Eckert who's found the right formula so far.
Thank you.
Chances of an American revival could depend to a large extent on what happens in the next few minutes. Alcaide to break. Europe on the hill.
If you notice where David and Francisco break from, they break from maybe 3 inches from the end of the box. They do this all the time, and I believe the USA pairing breaking right from the corner. Maybe this is something that USA will look at.
You can be quite sure Jeremy Jones will have noticed that and incorporated into his discussions and his planning for tomorrow, but he may well be planning a route back from 4-0 down, because this is a chance for this Spanish pair to finish off what's been a wonderful night for the home team.
Perfecta, Frank. Perfecta, Frankie.
Beautiful shot, hit that pure.
Si me paso que sea para dejarte ángulo para la banda, ¿no?
Sí, claro, claro. Vamos a dejar recta de ahí. Tú esas bolas tiran muy bien. Perfecto, ahí.
We've seen a couple of racks that look like formalities tonight, not quite turning out that way due to a late twist. Nevertheless, it would be a big surprise if this isn't the end of our evening's play. Jeremy Jones is a great lover of golf. He'll be well aware of that fact. I mentioned earlier that at the end of the first session of the Ryder Cup earlier this year, the Americans were 4-0 down. They didn't ultimately win, but they did come back to make a real fight of it. And that's the very least Jeremy Jones found a way of getting out of his team.
¿Recta? ¿Pegado en banda mejor?
No, me puede separar aquí mejor un poquito.
Mejor ahí.
Yeah, anywhere straight here. I agree with David. Fran wanted to leave the cue ball in the centre of the table to spin the cue ball round, but straightish on the 8 is good because he can just draw the cue ball back. Maybe bounced a little hard.
¿O prefieres venirte eso que es? Tirar la pinchadita, dejármela ahí. Forzando un poquito. ¿O prefieres venirte aquí? Gasta el tiempo, gasta el tiempo.
Yeah, that gives me a perfect look.
Yeah, extension, please.
You may have to try and force it over to the left side of the table now. Got to watch the side pocket, because he's got to force it with right spin. He may overhit this ball. Oh, it looks okay, you know. It looks okay.
So we started the night with a close contest. Yeah, two fairly one-sided ones to follow. It's finished with another well-contested match. But whatever form they've taken, if this 9 goes down, they'll all have gone the same way. And it all means that for only the 4th time in Mosconi Cup history, and the first time in a decade, it's a clean sweep on the opening night. Europe need 11 to make it 4 Mosconi Cups in a row. Well, they've got 4 on the board already. Europe dominate the opening night. The Americans have got to find a big, big response before they come back here for day 2 of this Mosconi Cup. Ralph Eckert, the happiest man in North London, his calm presence has steered this European team to a start they could not have dreamed of. Overnight, it's Europe 4, United States 0. They're enjoying the moment so much. You can just see the togetherness in this team. It's been built up over years and years, not just in Mosconi's, but these guys travelling around together to tournaments, practicing together all over Europe and in more recent times in the wider world on such a regular basis. There's so much friendship. Those two, Fedor and Ocean, they're great pals. We know how close FSR and Alcaide are, and Jason Shaw, well, he just loves the whole scene, and why wouldn't he, given what part he's played in it over the years? The roar from David Alcaide, the big celebration with his great mates. A dream night for Europe. We all came here saying, I think this is going to be a pretty close contest this year, and it may yet be, but it hasn't been tonight. It's been all Europe. The job for this evening has been completed by the Spanish pair.